Hey, we're live? We are live. It is the 1000 Comics Podcast. Welcome back, folks. I'm sitting here today with my guest, Sergio Bernal.
That's me.
How you doing, bro?
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. It's really interesting because you haven't said more than 50 words to me, I think, in my entire time knowing you on the surface on the scene. So
yeah,
it was a shock when you invited me to do the podcast.
It was that shocking?
Yeah, I just kind of asked you how often you do it, and then you just asked me to come on, and I just wasn't expecting it. I didn't think you saw potential in that way.
It's I don't really book my schedule with it like that far in advance, you know what I mean? So sometimes it's like, if I got like an open week and hey, you're talking to me about the podcast, it means you're interested in it somewhat.
Yeah.
I mean, but I think the thing that was interesting that you said to me when I asked you to do the podcast, you hesitated for a moment and then you said something to me that was, podcasting to me is sacred. Which is,
yeah.
I kind of wanted to dissect that a little bit.
Sure, man. So, the way I got into comedy was originally through, I think I saw a Netflix special, and then I really liked that comedian, so I started watching his podcast, and then I started watching him as a guest on other podcasts.
Right.
And then I realized, oh, man, I really like this kind of person in the world. This is a specific type of personality, a comic. And I never felt like I aligned with actors. I don't know if you know, but I went to school for theater, and yeah, man. I mean,
how'd that go?
Well, so
where'd you go to school for theater?
CCSU, Central Connecticut.
Okay.
And I had a lot of friends there. They were all older. Not many friends in my class. I mean, they didn't really take it that serious.
Yeah.
It was all upperclassmen, and even them, I never felt like I fit in with them. Maybe it's because I was like a lower class, or
what's weird I've noticed about anyone that majored in like theater and lived in Connecticut, it was always like, oh, what are you gonna do? Get a job at the Jerry Springer show? Like fucking, it was like, and then it was just like this weird like stuck up mentality.
Well,
I was a communications major at first when I was in college, and then I realized it was just a major that all the football players took just to get the easy A, and I was like, what the fuck am I even doing here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. He looks like a jock.
Yeah, that's John right there.
John the jock.
So I switched to being an English major, and I was much happier doing that. But you know something? I don't know. College is a huge waste of money. But anyways.
It is. I will say for theater, almost paradoxically, you want to go to college for theater because it's how you make your connections in the industry.
Right.
So I have multiple friends who have work, and if someone drops out of one of their productions, I'm in the back of their head, a name on their list that they can call. If I fit the role or whatever. It's obviously not guaranteed, but if I didn't go to school, then it would just be me auditioning, and that's all I would have. I have that now. But it's that extra layer of the people can get you jobs.
Yeah,
it's
all
networking.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly.
It's the same with comedy. I mean, across the board with the entertainment industry. But yeah, just to talk about.
Other than my two roommates from college, though, I don't keep up with anybody I went to college with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, I bet you would if you knew that they could potentially help you, or you can collaborate with them in comedy in some way.
I don't know, man.
Yeah.
Like I feel like English, mate. We were all just struggling writers, though, too. Like
yeah, I guess writing is a different type of thing because it's so individual and it's not something you can collaborate on.
Yeah.
Not really. Yeah, unless you're directing an Avengers movie, I guess maybe then you can do it with your brother or something.
So I've been listening to the It audio book today. It's just like something about like especially like a novel writer or someone as prolific as Stephen King. Like, I feel like any interview with Stephen King is like you're just bothering Stephen King from writing. You know what I mean?
What? Yeah. No, I don't. So you want to you want to talk about that?
Like he writes like so much that it's like you would think that he has to spend like most of his time writing, and anything like doing like any type of like media circuit is like merely a waste of his time.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
Yeah. You know who really suffers from that is George R.R. Martin, the motherfucker who writes the Game of Thrones books.
Right.
Dude, he has been on the same book for I think almost 2 decades now.
Right.
And he's working on other projects. He's on film projects, TV projects, completely unrelated to Game of Thrones. And people who watched the show and became a fan of the series because of the show, now they're more angry than actual fans of the book who then became fans of the show because of how the show ended. The show was just, I mean, the show's been over for a while, so this is old news. But, it's just like, motherfucker, sit down and finish the book. He's like 500 pounds, going to die any day now, and just not working on his health, and it's just like, dude. And he's got 2 books left in the series, and he's not even halfway done with the second one that's going to come out. Who knows if the last one's going to come out? Right. Spoiler alert, it's not, because he's going to die.
That's like the thing about writers, I guess. And so you went to school for film. Were your parents disappointed in that? What was the deal with that?
So it was theater, but
or not film. I'm sorry, theater.
Yeah,
theater.
all good. Equally as fucking useless in some people's eyes. So, it was interesting because I started going to school as a math education major. I wanted to be a math teacher for high school students.
Holy shit!
Yeah, so
isn't that the biggest like martyr in the world is the high school math teacher? Because it's like you could be using your math skills for making a lot of money, and like being a high school teacher is like the opposite of that.
Well, I think I just liked algebra, you can't really make money doing algebra, unless you teach it. So, I'm really good with like crunching numbers. I think it's just I like doing it. It's not even so much that I'm good at it, I guess.
Right.
But 18-year-old me thought maybe I can do this for the rest of my life. And a year into my degree, I'm doing this assignment that's like, it's just fucking homework and like solving one problem 10 different ways. Now, that's useful as a teacher because if you're teaching and a student is like, I just don't get it, well, you've got a few other ways you can show them how to do it. Yeah. I fucking hated that because I only wanted to do it the way I want to do it. I don't give a fuck about showing anybody else. And I was like, oh, wait, you know what? That's probably not the mindset I should have. And then I was like, fuck it. I fucking hate this homework. But in 3 years, I won't have to do it anymore. But then I realized, oh, shit, this homework is training me to just grade homework for the rest of my life. So that's when I was like, maybe this isn't it. Yeah. So, I didn't want to blow my brains out at 45 years old.
Well, did you ever read the book A Beautiful Mind?
No.
Did you ever see the movie at least?
No.
It was about the math professor, and he was like this like genius math professor, and he went on to like he met Einstein and everything, and like he worked with Einstein a little bit, but then like he I don't know, the movie would depict it that like there were like people in his mind that weren't really there, like, and he had like this college roommate that like only he remembered, and he became schizophrenic just because he'd spent so much time just dealing with numbers not people. Let
me tell you something, Matt. That would have been me. I would have become schizophrenic if I became a math teacher.
Yeah.
And I believe that, and I don't say that lightly. I think, and I'm going to say this on the record, math causes schizophrenia. And you can quote that. Dude, I also did improv in college.
Right.
So
you know what? Can I say one more thing about a Beautiful Mind before we get to that? Is the character in A Beautiful Mind? Like, I really love the movie. The movie was done by Ron Howard.
Okay.
He directed it. But like, when I read the book, it took it to a whole fucking new level where it was like,
really?
This guy spent so much time in his own head. Like, he just, like, ejected himself from fucking reality, And you know what the doctors like called it when he was like fucking laying dormant in the fucking like psych ward, basically?
No, what
they were like telling his wife that he suffers from gay panic.
So,
Because this was like the fucking 50s, like
oh, the
no,
movies
like,
from the 50s?
or the story
Took
is
place
at
in the
least,
50s.
yeah,
Gay panic.
yeah.
Interesting. Okay. Wow. Gay
Which is
panic.
weird that such like a shattered existence of like a teacher was something like I picked this book off a math teacher's bookshelf. And there was a whole set of them for kids to read, and I'm like, I don't know if we should be like even showing like kids what like a fucking like horrible fucking like existence it is to be, or maybe we should because maybe it'll defer them from fucking like even getting into higher education, which is what I'm starting to think.
I don't know, Matt. I think if you give books like that to kids, they might look at people who like numbers and talk to themselves and call them gay. And so that's like, and I don't want to be called gay.
Because you also have to pair it with the movie where Russell Crowe played the dude in the movie. He was like kind of a tough bastard in the movie.
Okay, but he's gay, so not really, right?
He had a wife and he had a kid.
But the doctors called him gay, though.
Well, the doctors, that's what the doctors said, that he suffered from gay panic.
And
I'm not lying. Pick up a copy of Beautiful Mind, audience.
Are you going to question the doctor?
You
going to question the doctor, Clark? I don't know, man. My doctor prescribes me pills, and I trust him all the way, and I only have a few side effects. You know?
So, anyways, you ditched the idea of being a math teacher,
right? So I was like, man, what would I rather be doing for the rest of my life? And I thought back to my senior year of high school, and I did a musical. I was in The Little Mermaid.
Right.
You want to guess? You want to guess the role I played? And I bet you won't.
Flounder.
Nope. Not Eric.
I don't know all the characters from The Little Mermaid.
You know what? It's the least colorful character in the entire story.
Right.
It's Prince Eric's butler. I was Prince Eric's butler.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't. Is that even in the movie?
He is in the movie. He's in the movie for maybe 20 minutes. Yeah.
Wow.
He's in the musical, and he actually in the musical he has more lines than Scuttle, the seagull.
That's okay.
Which is like, and I know because I counted. I don't know why I did that, but I guess I don't know. But
no, I can see why you did because you start counting lines when you actually get into it.
I was just really analytical, I think, and my method with memorizing lines is
you were trying to forget being a math guy and you were becoming an actor guy.
Well, this was in high school before I even changed. But after a year of doing math shit in college, I was just like, well, that theater stuff was kind of cool. If I could do that and make as much as a teacher, I think that's better than being a teacher. You know? And obviously it's way harder to make that much as an actor, but I think that I'd rather grind that out than be a teacher and fucking hate the rest of my life. You know, so that led me to, meeting all the people I met. And I was kind of shy in high school, and they kind of brought me out of my shell. And, I think I'm the person I'm meant to be now because of them. And, but I never felt the passion that some of those people felt. And I always felt like, well, I don't feel like I fit in the way these guys feel they fit in. And maybe that's insecurity on my end or something, but they had all these like names of plays memorized, directors and fucking like actors that had done runs like fucking decades ago, and I'm like, I don't give a fuck about any of that, man. I just want to tell a story, and that's meaningful to me, and that I think is a meaningful message to someone in the audience, and and so I was like, well, what the fuck am I that passionate about? And around the same time, I was watching podcasts and a lot of stand-up, and I.
Well, how old are you?
I'm 35.
You're older than me. I thought you were younger than me, bro.
I am younger than you, you fucking idiot. I'm 24, bro. I gotcha. I fucking gotcha. Yeah.
I believe you. You got me for a second there.
No,
but
dude, I can't believe you
gotta,
actually thought I was 35.
You got to understand, because we've been talking about podcasting as a medium in general, where, like, I graduated high school in 2009, where it's like,
wow.
fucking
That's the year I was born.
Come on, now you're going to fuck with me because you know I'm not a math guy.
Right. Oh, shit. Yep. Yeah.
Anyways, fucking, like, I was in high school when podcasting was kind of invented. You know what I mean? Where it was like Kevin Smith and, like, fucking people like that were doing, like, the first podcast.
Yeah.
You know? This is like, or it's like me and my friends who fucking were also mad nerdy, like, shared podcasts on, like, fucking CDs.
Oh.
Like, that's like fucking.
Bro.
Yeah, that's wild, right?
You are old,
Yeah.
bro. That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's CD podcast. Dude, if someone did that today,
you
I would just
burn a
listen to it.
podcast on a CD and share it if I thought it was good.
Wow, bro.
But there was so few podcasts out there.
Oh, wow.
Like
So you have to look
it
worth
made sense to do that, and it's not like you could just go on your phone and fucking you either downloaded it onto your iPod or you fucking listen to it on your CD player after you burn it out to a CD. You know?
Wow. Dude, hey, let me just back up real quick. If I had said a number that was older than you, would you have believed me?
Yes, you just did that.
Oh, I did. Oh, shit. Wow. Fuck. Damn, bro.
Now who's stupid?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm lost in the sauce. Fuck.
No. Let's get back to
My parents.
Or you want to talk about your parents? Sure.
So I actually didn't know if I could tell them. I thought I was just gonna keep it a secret, but I knew I had to because I didn't feel good about lying to my mom.
Right.
So I told my mom, and she was actually very supportive, because she said, well, I'd rather you live your life the way you want to live your life, because if I make you live your life the way I want you to, when I die, you're just going to have a resentment for the rest of your life towards me.
Really?
Yeah, and so, that was really, really emotionally intelligent of her, because I was not expecting that answer, and I mean, it's true. I mean, if I became a math teacher because she told me to, I probably would have done it, because back then I wasn't really that convinced that I could do it. And, I probably would have done it and resented her until she died and thereafter until I died. So,
you know what's another good movie about a math teacher is fucking, did you ever see a Serious Man? It was like a Coen Brothers movie.
No.
It's about like this Jewish math professor.
No.
Oh my God. You check that one out. That one was good. And like you see like in his dreams and stuff, it's wild. Yeah.
Okay. What is it called? The Serious Man?
It's called A Serious Man.
Serious Man. Okay.
Yeah. So that's your homework. Beautiful Mind and a Serious Man.
I don't do homework. I don't do homework anymore. If I feel like it, maybe I will. I don't know. We'll see. You brought up that he was Jewish. I've got a couple times, picked on during these open mics, for crowd work. Some people just point at me because I got a big nose, and whenever they're doing Jewish stuff, and it's interesting. I've got pointed to for Indian stuff, Hispanic stuff. What's his name?
I'll be honest. It's hard for me to gauge what your ethnic background is.
Well, how about you say it? And if you're wrong, I'm just never going to talk to you again. So you get 2. I'm gonna give you 2. And my name is confusing too, because I get all the time. I get it all the time. Are you Italian? Because my name is Sergio. Sergio. It's a very common Italian name. So
I want to say Greek.
I'm Greek. That's what you're going with? I'm Greek?
I don't want you to never talk to me again.
Well, then you better get it fucking right on this second guess, because I'm not Greek. So
I don't want to guess anymore.
Dude, you're doing it. You're doing it. How about this? I'll give you 2.5 guesses. So you do the second one, and I'll tell you what the half means.
Maybe, let's see. Now I'm thinking maybe more towards the Middle East, maybe.
Why maybe? Because that sounds like a half, but I want you to commit fully. I want you to say you're Arabic.
Because you care a lot about your parents' approval, and white people usually don't really give a fuck about their parents' approval.
That's interesting.
So we already had that part of the conversation. So now I'm thinking maybe.
So you're 2 for 2 for wrong guesses, my friend. So the half, I'm gonna give you. You got to do an impression of what you think I am. And if it's wrong, it's going to be real bad. So you got make it good. You got to make it good, my friend.
You're whatever. Wait, now I remember what he was.
This is the end of the podcast, by the way. He's going to get canceled.
You're whatever. You're whatever. Monk was.
Who?
Or is? Yeah, Monk.
Monk.
Adrian Monk. Yeah.
I'm lost. Is that
you ever watched
before
Monk?
my time?
He was like the hypochondriac detective. Tony Shalhoub played him.
Tony Shalhoub.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like you could be related to Monk.
Okay, I'm gonna need a lifeline here.
What was Monk?
What was Monk?
He was Italian on Wings, but that was a character. Don't you remember Tony Shalhoub was Italian? He was the Italian guy on Wings.
Okay.
But Monk didn't. On the character Monk, he didn't seem like he was Italian at all.
Well, I'll tell you what. I'll tell you what, Matt Heath. I really like you, so I'm going to pretend you didn't say those last 3 guesses, and I'm just going to say what I am. I'm Hispanic.
Oh.
Yeah. I'm actually Colombian and Brazilian, but I say Colombian.
Can somebody look up what ethnicity Tony Shalhoub is for us?
Hey, man, Shalhoub is not a Hispanic name.
He's probably Jewish. Shalhoub? Monk?
Shalhoub.
So that we're gonna get right on that. Hispanic, huh?
It's critical.
Colombian?
Colombian, yeah. So it's confused. What is he? Born in America. Okay. Yeah, but where's he really from? That's what we want to know. Lebanon.
Lebanese, huh?
Lebanon.
Yeah, I would have guessed Lebanese.
Wow. Middle Eastern, yeah. So it's confusing, right? Because I tell people I'm Colombian, but I look identical to my Brazilian father. Yeah, so I identify more with the Colombian side because I know more family in Colombia. When I speak Spanish, I have a Colombian accent. I don't speak Brazilian Portuguese.
Right.
So, all that side is just like, I don't think about it. I suppress it, really. I don't give a fuck about learning about that culture.
Not
really.
even the coffee portion of it?
No. Not a coffee. You know what? I like coffee, but like I quit coffee for 3 years because it was giving me really bad anxiety. Like if I get nervous.
Almost the way weed people like.
Maybe
I've never on weed. Yeah.
I don't do drugs for that reason, man. I've never had drugs, not a drop of alcohol in my entire life.
Never smoked weed?
Not a single time.
Never
No.
drank a drop of booze.
Not a drop. Yeah. I've been tempted. I've been to parties and stuff, in college and all that.
Yeah.
I've had cocaine and mushrooms in front of me offered to me, and well, all right, my friend, you're walking a line. Walking a line. Right. Yeah. Right. He knows his stuff. Yeah, no, I've been offered cocaine and I've been offered mushrooms, but I guess I'm just scared of addiction. It runs in my family, and I am addicted to a couple things.
Okay. Tell me.
Video games.
Okay.
Video games, and it's not like I play fucking Call of Duty, and it's like I'm doing it for fucking 5 hours, and it's like, bro, if I get on a game and I like it, I'm not doing anything. I'm not eating. I'm not talking to my friends. I'm not answering my phone. I'm not showering. I'm not doing anything until I 100% the game. Get all the trophies, do all the fucking collectibles, side missions, main missions.
Yeah.
It's bad. TV shows similar. It used to be real bad. Now I'm better at controlling myself, but in high school and college.
What's your system you got at home for video games?
I actually stopped playing video games on console. Because of that.
All right. Yeah. So you had to quit.
Yeah, well, not intentionally. I mean, I couldn't afford a PS5 when they came out. Actually, they were sold out too. So even if I could, I just didn't get one. And then they were out, and I was just like,
I'll tell you how far I went with PS3 was the last one I owned.
PS3.
I stopped playing video games in high school.
Wow.
In college, I had an old Nintendo, and that was kind of just a thing to get girls to come over.
Right, because they love watching you fucking kill motherfuckers.
No, they wanted to fucking get fucked up and play old Nintendo. Play fucking Super Mario Brothers,
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. A fun fact about video games is that when video games were first invented, there was no, section in toy stores for them because they were toys. They were games, right? So the toy stores were sectioned out by girls and boys.
Right.
So they needed to figure out, well, who are we going to market these to? They picked boys.
Right.
So now, cut to fucking 80 years later or whatever the fuck, boys are the biggest demographic. So it's just interesting because I wonder what would have happened if they marketed to girls.
But do you think that's just because, the male mind is wired a little more pragmatically? Like, video games are just kind of just appeal more to the male senses.
Well, I think now because they chose video games to be for boys, so then they started writing them for boys historically.
Pac-Man was a man first.
There you go.
It wasn't Pac-Man's wife.
It wasn't Pac
first.
bitch, yeah.
But my mom, who passed away, was so proud of herself that she got the high score on a Pac-Man machine.
Yeah.
When she was young.
Yeah.
And never played a video game, and never saw her play a video game once in my lifetime. But that was her claim to fame, that she got the high score on Pac-Man one time. We don't know
she lived. That's a shitty life, Matt. Let me tell you, if her number one.
But
thing
some
is,
people don't give a shit about video. I don't really give a shit
so.
about video games.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I guess so. I mean, there's a lot of girls that really do like video games once they get into it,
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. Yeah, it's just interesting though. I wonder what life would be like if we just I think guys would call video games gay if they were marketed to girls initially, because they would be marketed. The stories would be written for girls.
Right.
There would be no guy fan service in video games. I think it would just be,
Imagine the female version of Grand Theft Auto. What would that be?
I don't know because
that video games the definition of hyper masculine, right?
I don't think Grand Theft Auto exists if they were catered to girls, man, because crime is committed majorly by men. So
right.
I mean,
so it wouldn't be Grand Theft Auto at all. What would it be?
Fuck. I don't know. Kitchen Simulator.
Let's go shopping.
That's a hacky fucking first thing that came to mind, but Overcooked. It would have just been Overcooked.
Yeah.
It would have been Rockstar. Yeah, Rockstar would have made Overcooked, I guess.
I guess so, bro. What's your favorite video game?
My favorite video game of all time? I don't know. I think I really like Tomb Raider, the reboot of the Tomb Raider when that came out. I played the first and second one nonstop. Those were, I was majorly addicted to those.
Lara Croft.
Yeah.
She was a hottie, huh? Yeah. Anybody out there? Oh yeah, yeah. Angelina Jolie.
Wow.
Yes. Guys,
Wow.
Did you guys know that Brad Pitt's kid is dropping Pitt from the name?
What is he? What's his name?
His last name's Pitt, but his daughter,
right.
I guess, just turned 18, who's his adopted daughter.
Okay.
Because remember they adopted a bunch of kids from
Yeah.
Africa or something. Yeah, the kid doesn't want to be Pitt anymore. The Pitt's.
Wow.
But maybe they're just dropping it because it's because it's not very Hollywood sounding. Like Jolie sounds nice, but like Pitt, you know, we don't like. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, celebrity kids are weird, man. I don't like the idea of celebrities, talking about their kids and publicizing them, and it's just because that really fucks them up, dude.
That's when I started to not like Will Smith, when he started like
Jaden and Willow
fucking parading around his kids like they were like fucking.
Well, bro, they are crazy narcissists. I mean, he named his daughter after him, and then named his son after his wife. It's like, how full of yourself can you be? I mean, like, I don't know. It's just weird. Like, pick a different name. Make them have their own identity.
I mean, some people name, like, I don't know. There's nothing wrong with a junior every once in a while.
A junior, I guess so. I mean, it's different when it's cross gender.
Yeah.
Because it's like, I mean, Jaden probably came first. Topic, man. We recorded this right after it happened, so no. It was really
Well, no, it's honestly, we could talk about it because Bad Boys 4 is coming out. Whatever, like fucking Will Smith is like back basically. But I don't know. Like,
I don't think he's back. I think maybe studios want you to think he's back by giving him work, but I think in the eyes of the people, that something like that, like fans of comedy especially, I don't think they fuck with Will Smith anymore.
I think that's like my kind of feeling on it. Like,
Yeah.
I feel like he had no reason to fucking slap Chris Rock like that.
Well, I mean, you know what they say. I mean, he was probably jealous of like his wife's relationship with Tupac and all that. And by the way, I'm extremely out of my depth
I actually
here.
have a theory on. You want to hear my theory on it?
I mean, sure.
That it was Will Smith was in the worst Kevin Smith movie, and Chris Rock was in the best Kevin Smith movie, which was Dogma. And Will Smith was in Jersey
Dogma.
Girl, which was the worst Kevin Smith movie.
Wow.
And he was jealous, so he smacked Chris Rock.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe, yeah. Wow. Never thought of that. Yeah. So blame Kevin Smith is what you're saying. Blame the white man. Blame the white man.
Well,
for black on
yeah,
black
I mean, we're
violence.
gonna have to because, like, you know who bankrolled Kevin Smith in the beginning was Harvey Weinstein. So.
Oh shit! Full fucking circle. Not really.
It's all
No
Hollywood
circle
sleazeballs,
Yeah, I
bro.
guess so. Yeah, sleazeballs.
You know what? You definitely disappointed your parents when you decided to get in the business of show, because it's just a fucked up trench of like.
Well, my mom's not from this country, so she doesn't really understand fame or like, maybe she watches something on Telemundo, like some actor that
English
got
is her
addicted.
second language.
Second language, very broken English.
Right.
Her grammar's bad. She understands a lot, but very, very broken. Yeah, and it's really hard for me to even explain what I do to her because the only Spanish that I know is the Spanish, like the vocabulary that she used on me growing up. She never talked to me about acting or comedy or improv or any of these things I'm working on, and like I can't explain that to her because I don't have that vocabulary in Spanish to say it. So it's I gotta work around that.
That's got to be rough. But your dad's pretty good with the English.
So he speaks 3 languages. He speaks his first language was Brazilian Portuguese. Then he was born in Puerto Rico, so he speaks Spanish. So because he went to school there, and then he came to the United States when he was, I think, I don't know, in his teenage years, something like that, and then he learned English. And so English is his third language, and he has a crazy accent. It's like you can't pinpoint it, but
where does he like gauge like show business? Is there anything that he's like
dude,
into?
he is so annoying. Well, he's very supportive, but
Right.
he is so annoying because like whenever he talks about comedy and how whenever I talk to him about like how I talk to comedians, I have actor friends and stuff, and you know I don't just do one thing. I try to mix it up and do a bunch of things. He talks about, he's like, oh, you know, that's like with Steve Harvey, you know, like, and it's like, dude, he's like, you got to do.
That's a men of a certain age thing.
Bro,
where,
literally.
Granted, Steve Harvey was one of the kings of comedy,
Well, yeah,
but like
sure.
at the same time, it's like fucking.
But dude,
like,
and he tells
it's
me
Steve Harvey.
Yeah, it's like it's like Steve Harvey, and it's like, and he's like, you know, but you're like in the newer generation, and he always forgets the guy's name. He's like, oh, who's that guy? That big Spanish guy, Fluffy, like one of those new guys. And I'm like, Fluffy's your reference for new guys, bro?
Yeah.
And he's just like, yeah, I mean, and he always refers to those two comedians.
Well, who
whenever
did
I
you
talk
like
about it.
growing up? Was it like, would be like Gabriel Iglesias fall under that umbrella?
So growing up, I didn't really watch stand-up at all. I didn't really get into stand-up until like, dude, I mean, I'll paint a picture for you. I didn't know what improv was until my second year of college.
Right.
Like I was just sitting in the lobby and the improv club came in, and at that time it was a bunch of actors.
Oh.
And it was part of the theater department. It later evolved and became people outside.
You didn't
the
really
department,
grow
but-
up with television like that?
Well, I did, but stand-up, you know, the arts just wasn't in, like, the zeitgeist growing up because my mom, you know,
Right.
she consumed Telemundo and Spanish media, and I didn't fuck with, you know, I
All
wanted
right.
to watch
Well,
SpongeBob.
who was the first stand-up comedian that like made you like this is like clicks? This
Right.
is kind of like
So the first special that I saw that I was like, whoa, which I went back recently and I watched and I was like, this is the fucking one?
Yeah.
It was Chris D'Elia's Incorrigible. Which
Chris
is,
D'Elia. I've never
Yeah.
watched one of his specials. I have seen him.
They're okay.
I have seen him live though. Back when I visited California and I went to the Comedy Store.
Yeah.
He was one of the people on like the showcase that night.
Whoa.
And I still remember what he said when he was like, oh, like, you know, is all you guys coming in here doing comedy? It's like, it doesn't matter. Like, it doesn't matter if, like, you do comedy because, you know, you're not the protagonist of your movie. He's like, you're not Denzel Washington.
You're not the man on fire. Yeah.
That's in one of his specials?
So he does that bit in his special Man on Fire, which released at the peak of his career, if you want to call it that. And you know, before everything happened with him, and you know, all the stuff came out. But yeah, it's interesting because you know, he went through all that stuff, and it was devastating for me as a fan to see all of that. And,
Yeah.
And you know, I didn't follow any
to
of
me,
the...
he's like T.J. Miller. He's kind of like, I feel like they're both weird guys, and they're both like could like get into some bullshit. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. You know, when he came back after a year and a half, I getting love notes over here. Whoa. You want to read that in front of the whole class, Matt?
I'm trying to make out the last. I thought it said lasagna at first. Do we have lasagna?
Lasagna.
Oh, the lasagna's on. I just actually like to
Shameless
make
plug.
a quick announcement that we have hot dogs tonight. We got lasagna,
Sick.
burgers, and special wings.
Special wings.
Yeah.
Special dry
Can you
rubs.
put on one of them hot rod hot dogs for me right now, hot rod? You want anything, Serge?
I'm okay.
Yeah.
I'm okay. Yeah.
You don't want a hot rod?
Nah, I'm okay. Yeah. I got this diet I'm
Yep.
doing, counting calories and all that.
All right. I'm mentioning his Instagram. What's your Instagram, bro?
So I don't have a comedy
I would
Instagram
have
right
had
now,
him
but
drop the handle at the end of that. I don't know what we needed a note for this. Okay.
Gotcha.
Thank you for the funny reminder.
yeah, I'll drop it at the end when we wrap up.
Okay.
But yeah. But yeah, I was just talking about Chris D'Elia. You know, I mean, I like his podcast stuff way more than his stand-up. I mean, I think his stand-up is way too. It comes off as really rehearsed.
Yeah.
But his crowd work and his podcast stuff, where he's just like off the cuff. Nowadays, I mean, it's not really that good. But like back in the day when he was at his peak, I mean, it was just so silly, so like he was so free. It was like. I don't know, man. It was just very inspiring, and I saw a lot of myself in him, and yeah, I guess through him I saw myself doing it.
Really?
And so yeah, so he was the first comedian that made me feel like I can do it, and I guess like, you know, I saw that because he was doing it, I could have a voice similar to his, you know, because I do in life, I feel. So yeah, so when I saw all that stuff, it was devastating, and I'm a big like supporter of people growing and changing and doing therapy and learning from their mistakes and all that, and you know, he's a dad.
To be honest,
and,
I think his shit kind of happened like around the same time as Louis C.K. So like,
yeah,
I don't really know anything about what happened with Chris. I just know like he just fell under an umbrella of like a lot of dudes that were being accused of a lot of shit at the time.
Well, you know, I'm not going to get into it, but you know, we're keeping it light here on the 1,000 Comics podcast.
Keeping it light. You were just at a funeral today, bub.
Oh, wow, that was before the countdown. Yeah, putting that live on the internet. No, all good. Yeah, no, I was at a funeral, but I grieve through my art, is what I say. You know,
Okay.
I don't take days off. You know, I think that people that know me, if you know, when they die, they would want me to still being me, to still be me. You know, so
Wait, when
they die.
When they die.
When they die. So, like, for example, if you die,
Right.
you wouldn't want your comedians to take a day off from comedy. Your comedian friends. You would want them to, you know, talk.
I really don't give a flying fuck with any of the comics. Or honestly,
Interesting.
like I feel like I don't know. Show business is I don't know. I don't think when I'm on the other side, I don't think like comedy. None of that shit matters. You know.
I guess so. I mean, I guess what I'm trying to say is, like, if I were to die, I wouldn't want people to stop living their lives to think about me. You know, you're gonna, you know, right after my death, that's gonna happen anyway. But you know, you should still live your life and live your life the way you would anyway. And especially if you're working in the arts, make art. Don't do that. You know, I
There is something to be said about a comedian, though, that like the ones that were really great and you know they didn't reach like their full potential, like Patrice O'Neal or Mitch Hedberg or like Bill Hicks, like people like that. You know what I mean?
yeah.
So
Steve
like
Harvey, those guys.
hello, God. If you know, if you kill me, make it around noon because I don't want to be late for dinner.
Hold on.
Heaven.
You have a landline to God, and that's what you're wasting on, motherfucker? Oh, let me talk to him. He's real? Hello? Oh, I guess he hung up, dude. That's fine. He doesn't
He's a
talk
busy
to
man.
Hispanics.
He's a busy man.
Yeah. Do you have sex, or what's the deal?
Do I have sex?
I didn't know where to go.
Oh my God.
I didn't know where to go.
Well, like we can't have a second of dead air in this thing, can we? I mean, I haven't
The
been
lounge is
laid
cheering.
because I kind of just went through like a breakup kind of thing.
Okay.
But now like I'm in the process where I'm just friends with some lady folk and stuff.
Sure. So
What
I mean,
about you, guy who's not addicted to anything? You said you had 2 addictions. One of them was video games. Is
And
the other one sex?
The other one is, dude, no, but it was watching TV shows.
Oh, okay.
It was watching. I guess 3.
You're not a porn addict,
My
though?
phone. No.
No.
Yeah, it's.
I mean,
it's
if
something I
I'm a
limit
guy
myself
who's
on.
never drank or never smoked weed or never fucking fucked around with anything like that, I'd probably be really addicted to porn.
Well, I kill people, and I hide it, but I'm joking about it right here. So you'll never believe me if I told you the truth. Just don't look in my trunk, or you'll be in there too, motherfucker.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. Nah, I don't kill people. I don't think I can. I've never been in a fight. Yeah. Pablo. Okay, buddy's bringing up Pablo Escobar.
So you say
He
you're
knows his stuff.
addicted to TV show. What TV show were you addicted to watching?
It's just anything that I get hooked on the first episode. So like Succession, man, on HBO.
I heard that show's
Oh my God, bro! Episode 1. I kept going. Until I couldn't go anymore.
good. You know what I've been binging? I just finished binging, kind of.
What?
I'm rewatching Everybody Loves Raymond.
Everybody Loves Raymond.
You never watched that show?
No. Yeah, not before my time, but I guess like in terms of like entertainment or like TV shows and media, like it just wasn't
Lame?
I missed that.
Lame? You thought it was lame?
Not that it was lame. I just
Nothing
never
happens
caught it on
in
TV.
it. You know what? I realized after binging it is like literally. Is it over? Oh shit!
Okay,
Oh, we're
just
clapping.
Random applause mid-sentence. All good.
I was like, I thought I decided when it was her. I was fucking clapping. I don't know.
Rose.
Relish. What do we do? We're ordering a hot dog now. So
Yeah.
yeah, just give me the works
Spicy
on it.
relish. The works.
No ketchup. Mustard sounds good.
The
Yes,
works,
thank
but
you.
no ketchup. So it's
No ketchup.
really the
Ketchup
works.
does not belong on a hot dog.
see. Wow. A lot of heated
What are you,
opinions
people from
here.
fucking Texas? No. Ketchup.
Ugh.
Ketchup only belongs on like one thing, and that's a burger.
Dude, I know
and
people.
and fries.
I know people that eat rice with ketchup, and they're Puerto Rican. So, and dude, if I wasn't Hispanic, I'd be-
sometimes we got some really dry ass eggs.
mayo ketchup. Yeah. Whoa.
Oh shit! So Succession. What was like? What's TV show you're into now? Or are you trying to cut off that fucking addiction too?
So I actually started watching this anime called Steins Gate. This is the most nerdy shit of all time, but it's about time travel, and
Yeah.
it's really hard to understand the first couple episodes, but if you push through it, it gets really interesting. Apparently, it's like one of the top 5 animes of all time. I don't know how true that is. I'm kind of a casual viewer. I'm not like a huge fan or anything of anime.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really, just a casual, I guess. I really don't like how, like, every anime, no matter what, they always sexualize young, like, girls. And it's just
like
so
70s rock stars. The people are the people drawing these animes the fucking same as the rock stars from the 50s? What is
Yeah.
it with these guys wanting to
it's-
get it on with 15-year-old girls? It's not okay.
It's weird. Dude, you know what's funny, too, is that there's a lot of anime that the protagonist is like in their 20s.
Right.
And the love interest is 17.
Yeah.
It's like, and then the animator, you look into it, the animator is like 30 or 40, and it's like, bro, what the fuck what do you got going on in your mind?
Yeah,
man?
that's fucked up.
It's really, it's weird. But yeah, you were asking me, about, I asked you about your love life, so I'm gonna talk about mine, because I think it was really blunt, and I just didn't know where to take it.
Yeah,
so, whatever, man.
if that's where you want to take it, go
Well,
for
yeah,
it.
I think it's only fair, but But yeah, no, I just right now I'm focused on me, and yeah, I'm very, very single. Not really looking to get into any sort of relationship right now, and I've toyed with the idea of dating actors. You know, in college.
Nah,
and stuff.
you don't want to do that.
Well, I did, and you know, I never. It was never anything serious. Like couple short-term relationships,
right?
Committed, monogamous, but like it never panned out. And I think from those experiences, I just kind of swore off like dating anyone that I'm in, like I work with.
Ooh,
you know.
Thank you.
Wow.
That's beautiful. Appreciate it,
Thank
Clark.
you, Clark.
Give it up for the bartender, Clark.
Woo!
Here. Hey, guy, we have our comedy open mic starting at 9 o'clock out there, so make sure you come down, sign up, get yourself a nice. Oh, this is a nice sour. I got to take a bite of this.
I'm really excited to see how the fuck you're going to eat that because
take a little bite of it.
he said he's going to take a bite into it. Wow. Mostly bread, that bite. That's crazy. Only bread on the second bite. Dude, you are a monster. All right. We got Matt Heath eating the whole thing. Eating the whole fucking thing. Wow. Dude, you don't really give a fuck about like equality in your bites, huh? Like you don't care if one is mostly bread, one is mostly dog, mostly kraut, and you're just eating. I mean, well, leftover. The last bite is different. I'll give you a pass on that, but god damn, wow.
Come order the Heath dog. Maybe there'll be some pastrami here the next time, so we could do it right, John? Hell yeah.
So yeah. Anyway,
but that was good. That was good. Even with just the sauerkraut on it, it's good. It's the hot dogs right here are delicious. Make sure you come down here and buy one here at Hot Rod
dogs.
Spotlight
Get your
Lounge.
dogs. Get your fucking dogs.
All right.
So yeah, I was
Before I started devouring a hot dog in front of the
talking
camera, I believe we were talking about your love life.
I was just saying, yeah, I swore off dating anyone in the entertainment industry. Like if I work with you or in
I
the
watched
vicinity.
Matt Heath eat a hot dog, and I swore off dating anyone.
Yeah, in the last 2 seconds, I was like, I might fuck this guy, and then I saw how you eat hot dogs, and I was like, yeah, I don't want to put my dick in that.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, no. So wait, seriously, did you have a bad experience with one of these girls?
You know, it was just how awkward it was after the breakup. So
'cause you can't work together.
Well,
you can't stick your pen into company ink, bro.
So yeah, I mean, it was a college thing. So it was just after the fact. I couldn't really see my friends in plays and stuff, and it was just really awkward. And yeah, I don't want to have that experience moving forward with work. You know, I want to be able to go to shows and hang out with my colleagues, you know, coworkers and stuff like that. And yeah, you know, the second you start mixing, there's a comedian, I forget his name. It might have even been Chris D'Elia, actually.
Yeah.
He said, "You don't shit where you eat."
Oh yeah.
And I take that literally now, you know? I used to eat sauerkraut dogs on the toilet, and now I don't. Not after 3 minutes ago. There you go.
Hey, let me eating a sauerkraut dog be a lesson to you kids out there.
I just before we get into anything else though, you seem to like my my RFK impression, and you always give me
honestly,
ideas
bro,
on it and stuff.
It's the reason I probably had you on the podcast. That's
Really?
that's what
Haven't asked me to do
your
it once?
Your act like draws me in to your personality more so. The RFK thing, like. Can you give us a little RFK on the podcast here?
Well, okay, sure. I mean, what is it that what's an issue that matters to you that's not political at all?
That's not political.
Yeah, like what's something you care about? And please don't say sauerkraut on hot dogs.
I was going to say the fact that there's no
talking about-
pastrami here at Hot Rods.
Okay. Next Tuesday. You want pastrami, motherfucker? You want to do pastrami?
No,
Okay.
it's RFK. RFK. We need pastrami.
Yeah, well, I'm glad you brought that up because I love pastrami, and my father used to make pastrami at home, and it turns out that if you eat 10 pounds of pastrami, you run the risk of getting a brain worm, and so I found out the other day I had a brain worm, and it's been dead in my head for about 50 years now, and so...
So it's from a 50-year-old pastrami sandwich?
Yeah, and, but it's not affecting me in any way that really would affect me as president, so I wouldn't worry about
Hey,
that.
RFK, aren't you banging the ex-wife from Curb Your Enthusiasm?
Well, I'm glad you brought that up, Matt, because Cheryl Hines is an actress, and... I see a lot of shows and stuff, and because she has all these actor friends, I like to support them in their endeavors, and so I talk to a lot of people, and when you talk to as many people as I do when you're running a campaign, you run into a lot of spoilers, and it's interesting because people think I'm a spoiler in the race, and so it's kind of ironic because of the lengths that I go to avoid spoilers. I'm watching.
Were you on set for that last season of Curb?
Well, yeah. So I was on set, and
How was the craft service? Was there any pastrami?
No, that was a special request on my part. I can't risk any sort of brain worm during the campaign, as you might understand.
I understand.
But let me get back to the spoilers. So I was at a campaign event, and I was talking to someone who was in line waiting to see me, and he started talking to me about Game of Thrones. And, I've developed a method of avoiding spoilers. So I've got my security team to deal with them in a way that is efficient. And whenever they feel that I'm at risk of hearing a spoiler, they then punch that person full force in the stomach so they're not able to articulate the spoiler. Now, you might think that's excessive, but I'm only on season 2. So, I think that's the right way to go with that. And,
I think the end of Curb Your Enthusiasm was spoiled for me because of fucking Facebook. I haven't even got a chance to watch one episode of that season.
Well, to that I would say, Matt, what are you doing on Facebook? That's only for boomers, and you're not that old, so unless you want to be. I mean, you're as old as you act, and you're acting really old by being on Facebook, and so I would just avoid Facebook, and then you won't have to worry about things like that.
What about me being able to afford a fucking house in my lifetime, RFK?
Well,
will I ever be able to afford a house? Will I ever be able to achieve the American dream?
If you vote for me in November, you'll be able to afford a house. But I'm probably not going to win because I've got a brain worm. And you're not going to vote. I can tell. I see it in your face. You're not going to vote, Matt Heath. You look like...
Because you're not going to win, bro. You're not gonna win.
If you don't vote, I won't win. And I'll tell you something else, Matt Heath. You look like Ray Romano with diabetes, and that's fine. But and Exhibit A, I just want you to know that I really respect you, and I don't really get a platform, so I appreciate you having me on this podcast with all these viewers that you have every week, and hopefully they come out and vote and come out this November.
What? You know what? I've always been curious about the Kennedy family.
What's that?
Was fucking Rosemary Kennedy.
Rosemary. Oh, that was the one who got the lobotomy, huh?
The one that got the lobotomy.
Oh, dude. You know what's so sick about that? I saw a documentary about that actually the other day. So apparently JFK's dad
Right.
was the one who he wanted to be president originally,
Right.
and then he realized he was too old. He was never going to get in, which is, I mean, crazy to talk about now. We got a fucking corpse running the country, but he realized he it couldn't be him, so he was like, his name is Joe Kennedy. He was like,
Right.
well, I want Joe Jr. to do it, and so Joe Jr. was a fighter pilot in World War II. And so he was a fighter pilot, and he was the first child, Joe Jr. He was the gold child, the gold fucking, you know, whatever you want to call him, the number one boy, and
The golden child.
the golden child. Yes, fuck. Thank you, Matt Heath. And there was a mission that went horribly wrong that JFK was on,
Right.
John F. Kennedy, and he was like the weak link of the Kennedys. Like he was always very sickly, didn't know how to swim, wasn't very athletic. But I guess he was on a boat or something, and he swam 8 miles to an island with someone else on his back, and so he was a hero. He was a war hero.
Right.
And so he came back home, and Joe Kennedy was so jealous of that. He was like, I need a story like that, so that the Kennedys are known for being war heroes and that I'm able to be elected president. He went out on a secret mission, and he died in his plane. He got shot down, and he died.
Oh, I did know the
And-
plane crash. I
and-
knew about that.
And
part,
then it went down to JFK. I'm
Right.
pretty sure it was JFK, and he was sickly and stuff, and he almost didn't get elected because he was Catholic, and they.
You're really interested in the Kennedys, huh?
Well, yeah, you know, I got interested because of RFK,
Yeah.
and I just got super
But
kind of.
but the thing about Rosemary,
yeah,
though,
yeah, yeah, I was yeah.
is
yeah.
that like.
She was dumb. She was actually really slow. Like every other
But
Kennedy.
I'm pretty sure they just gave her a lobotomy because she was skipping out on her fucking boarding school and going in fucking guys. And
That's
they're like, oh, we
the
can't
most
have this.
blunt
We
way to
can't have
say
this
it.
chick like whoring around. So they fucking took her frontal lobe out of her fucking head.
well, yeah, man. I mean, so it's interesting what they did with Labadi's back in the day.
But it's interesting to think that like what we celebrate like somebody like Sexy Red for now, back then we thought was a mental disease and fucking
Well,
taking her fucking.
It is if you're white. It is if you're white. But I will say Rose Marie Kennedy. She was like the least intelligent of all the Kennedys, according to her father, and but she was beautiful. So Joe Kennedy was like, we need to make her smart, and there was this procedure where if you stick a rod in, you know, they have you during the lobotomy, you're awake during it. They have
no
you-
way. You're awake during a fucking lobotomy?
Yes, and here's how you know it's working. They had Rosemary sing while they were fucking around in her frontal lobe, and the way they know something's horribly wrong is when you stop singing, and that bitch stopped singing, and then she just was bound to fucking a vegetable life for her entire life. It's a sad story, man.
I hate to go
we're
out
keeping
on
it light
such
here.
I hate to go out on such a down note. So hold on. Could you you know what? Could you plug whatever you want to plug as RFK?
Let's see.
Instagram, whatever.
Sure.
Yeah, you know, if you want to follow me, you can follow me at The Immortal Spirit on Instagram. That's the.immortal.spirit. And I made that when I was in middle school. So, you know, don't judge me on that. I hope that doesn't cost me the election, Matt Heath. But yeah, you can follow me there, and hopefully I win this November. And yeah, go to Kennedy24.com and see if you can put me on the ballot in your state.
Guys, this has been the 1,000 Comics Podcast. Please come down to Hot Rod Spotlight Lounge for our comedy open mic. Starts at 9 here on Main Street in Middletown. here on a nice, fine Tuesday night. Sergio,
My man.
thank you so much for being on the podcast.
Yes,
That was
sir.
fun.